And because I'm in this slump and I feel negative, I'm going to talk about something that I passionately hate. And that's children.
Welcome back to Kickin with Katelyn.
What the flying fuck is up, everyone? Welcome back to Kickin' It with Katelyn, with your host, me, Katelyn. I know, this bob is fat. Y'all seen that video? Yes, I chopped off all my hair. While I would like to say, it's not because I'm having an episode. I'm trying not to say that. I saw a video of me with my haircut because it came up in my Snapchat memories. For the good or for the worse is what Snapchat memories are. And I was like, I hate my long hair. Like, it's just, I'm like a dude. Like, I just kind of like take a shower and let it air dry. Like, I don't style it anymore. Like, sometimes I do. Most times I don't, though. It's about to be summer. I hate letting my hair dry whenever it's long and wet because it takes like an hour. I went to go get my hair cut. I was like, okay, this is the picture that I showed her, and it had like layers and like a bang. And she was like, are you actually going to style it every day? And I was like, no. So this is what I got. I will say I'm not like in love with it yet. This is the first day that I've had it though. So maybe I will come to love it. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I think this is for the better. I'm running out of shampoo, but the shampoo that I have should last a very long time now, since it's just like a little bit. If I don't have a hoodie on, it doesn't even touch my shoulders. So I think it's cutesy for the summer, but we'll see. We'll see. I did enjoy my short hair last time, but like I said, this may or may not be because of an episode that I'm having. Anyways, y'all have been eating up the Reels and TikTok videos, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, I am going to cater to your needs and your wants, so I will probably be posting two videos in between the announcement of an episode and the announcement of the next episode. So some of y'all said that I did my brother dirty with both of the reels, especially the one about him farting. Okay, I would typically be like, hey, like, are you comfortable with me like posting this? He never answers me, so guess what? I post whatever I want. And he knew that we were in this room recording, and he could have been like, don't put that in there. But he didn't. So, and honestly, that's y'all's favorite reel, because guess what? It's relatable. Everybody got a brother or a sister. Women can be pretty gnarly like that too. Who lets it rip in the car. Okay. Some of y'all's siblings are not trained like mine is to roll down the window. But maybe if you show them that reel, they will get to that point. What else was I gonna say? Yes, so it probably looks different in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do in post-production. I may light it exactly how it is regularly, but I am doing this at night, and this is me getting into my first topic. I'm in like a fucking slump, so I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, ever since the beginning of the year, life has not been lifing. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm like depressed or anything like that, because I really don't think that I am. I'm just not having as much fun as I usually am. So I've been like lazy and procrastinating, which is why the lighting is different. While I would like to sit here and say that like I wanted to have like a slightly different vibe, like at night, like neon lights and club vibes for when I'm by myself on the podcast. I can't really blame it on that. I'm just lazy. And then I use like me getting my hair cut today as an excuse to film this late. I should not do this again. This is my second time recording because I didn't think that the first taping was giving what needs to be given because I'm tired. Yeah. So hopefully this next one is going to give enough. But yeah, so I have been in a slump. And it's not just like school. It's the podcast, my work, school, all my works, every class in the school, my podcast. Like, my podcast does make me feel better whenever I make it, but it's not enough to get me out of this funk that I'm in. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I have tried everything. Yeah, just about everything. I've eaten all the food that I wanted. I went to work out. Like, I've treated myself. Like, I don't really know what's wrong. Maybe it's like the seasonal depression that they say people have whenever it's like winter. We did have a little bit of sun for like 3 days. I ate that shit up. I kind of think that's why I was ready to cut my hair, because it's going to be hot as fuck. And honestly, like, my whole life lit up for those 3 days. And now that it's cold, I'm like back to like this again. So it may be that, but life goes on. You do still have to make money, go to school, and make your podcast. I'm not miserable. I'm just not as happy, if you get what I'm saying. And this is really weird, because usually this lasts maybe like a week for me, and then I'm like happy. I am typically like 100% happy aside from like a week, like I explained. So this is different. I hope this does not come with adulthood, because I am clawing my way out of this hole. And I think it's getting better. But I don't know what's wrong with me. The next route that I'm taking is to go on a trip. It may be because I need to go on a trip. I used to go on a trip like every 3 months, and now I don't, because I was like locked in. Ever since I started podcasting, like it's been like a year. Once I started that summer semester, I've like been locked in. I'm not going to sit here and blame it on my podcast, because I could take my podcast on the road with me, even though I wouldn't want to. I could do that. This is me just trying to come up with more excuses for my behavior. But anyways, why am I sharing this on the internet? Honestly, podcasting is part of like my therapy. So maybe by me saying this out loud, I'm going to be like, girl, you are drowning in 2 feet tall water. Stand the fuck up. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. I'd like to think that my podcast is relatable. Maybe you've been through something like this. Hopefully not. Maybe you have. We all go through these weird like cycles of life. We all ride in that roller coaster of life. Right now, mine's still falling. And hopefully it's on the up pretty soon. But yeah, that my slump can be blamed for the lighting. So when I was preparing for this episode, I was like, what do I want to talk about? And I know I had talked about like really wanting to do my own episode, and I really do. Like, I always get like a high of podcasting as soon as I finish recording an episode. So I know at the end of the episode with Colby, I was like, I'm ready to talk on my own. And then once it's time to write it down, I'm like, I don't know. But I think it's because of the slump. I will say that I really wanted to talk about Stranger Things, because I did binge watch the first season. I think that I'll talk about it sometime. Maybe not. I really want to talk about the series Bible compared to the actual show, because I did read the series Bible in my script writing class, and I thought that was really neat. So maybe we'll talk about that. But not today. So I was thinking about things to write about, and I really couldn't think about anything. And whenever I reach out to people to be on the podcast, I'm like, okay, I need 3 topics that you feel passionately about. And I always tell them you could love it, you could hate it, you could want to discuss it. I mean, you should want to discuss it. Just something that you feel passionate about. Passionately hate or passionately love. And I was like, Katelyn, you are supposed to do that for yourself too. And because I'm in this slump and I feel negative, I'm going to talk about something that I passionately hate. And that's children. Before I get into this, I I don't want any of the parents of children to be offended by this. Whenever I say children, I am speaking in regards to the crying babies that won't shut up. I'm speaking in regards to the 13-year-old squeezing the rubber pig toy, running down the aisles at HEB. That's who I'm speaking in regards to. I'm speaking in regards to the annoying kids. I'm not speaking in regards to your child or your children. So don't feel offended when I say these things. But also, think about how you thought when you were childless. And then we'll be on the same page. So that is that's probably going to be my only disclaimer. But before we get into children, let's just back it up for a second to the parents. Okay. Why the fuck do people say we're trying for a baby? Why are you publicly out here speaking this into the world in front of your coworkers that you're having sex every night to have a child? Yeah. Okay. Why? Who made that a thing? Who said that was okay? I do not need to know that my ugly ass coworker is getting play and I am not. Okay. So, let's just shut that shit down now. I do think that, I know that I have only ever heard older people say this. So hopefully, I haven't ever heard a millennial say this. I have, but it was a guy who was kind of awkward. So, from here on out, let's just go ahead and spread the word that we as a collective community, starting here, it's blossoming here, are not going to say the phrase, we're trying for a baby. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's talk about why I hate children. So the first thing is that you can't fight them when you get mad. Yeah. If I'm at the bar and this bitch spills my drink, I am chunking the rest of my drink at her and beating her ass. But if a child bumps into me and spill my drink, if he spills my red drink all over, I wouldn't do this, my white top, I'm just supposed to take it up the ass? I'm being serious, y'all. Okay. Another one, okay, not only like physically fight, but I'm speaking about verbally fight. So if a 13-year-old says something to you, you just have to take that shit up the ass. You can't clap back at them for two reasons. If you clap back at them, you're probably going to use like the best roast you've ever had in your whole life. They're smart. They're going to be like, oh, this is like the best roast like ever. And they're going to pretend like it didn't click in their head, so it's not going to land the way you wanted it to. Or it will land and they're going to rip you a new one. And then they're going to wait for the reaction that you're going to give them because they're literally on fire and they ripped you a new one. So it's like, you just have to shut the fuck up. You just have to be quiet. Like, you can't say anything to them. And I don't like sitting there and not saying it because I'm not going to take anything up the ass. So it's like, I am taking the other route to where we are arguing and they're being so disrespectful and I'm being disrespectful. And the fact that I just can't sock them in the face sucks. You either agree or disagree with me. The next thing is one that I really, really struggle with. Clearly, I'm not around children very much. But when I am, it's whenever I am with my family. And in my family, there aren't very many young kids. So they're a little bit older. They're competent. Me, I'm inappropriate and I say bad words all the time. That is just part of who I am. I am 22 years old. I'm not going to filter myself. I have earned it. Okay? Thank you. I don't like that. I have to watch myself. First of all, you have to physically watch yourself. Like, you can't step on them. You like have to watch yourself. I'm vertically challenged. If you are not in my line of sight, you're too small. I am literally like a little person. So it's like, why do I, being so close to the ground, have to watch out for other people who are so close to the ground? Like, that's a tall people thing, and I am not tall. So it's like, okay. Like I was saying, I don't like having to watch what I say. So that's really annoying to me. And my mom's like, Katelyn, you better be quiet. You better be quiet. Like, talking through her teeth like that. Or she'll just be like, from across the room. So it's like, fuck. And I'm like, I get in trouble a lot for that. And I don't like that I have to watch myself. I don't watch myself anywhere. I don't watch myself at work, at school. I wouldn't even watch myself during a job interview. For example, we got a new manager at my job. I didn't know what she looked like or who she was. And we were short-staffed. It was only the pharmacist, me, and Nick. And there were supposed to be 5 of us. So there's 2 people who didn't make it. The 3 of us were there. And we had, like, people everywhere. I had the gate closed, and I was, like, struggling to type, like, one prescription that the person was in the front for. So I had to do it right then and there. And the new manager comes up. Again, I don't know who she is. And I'm like, oh, the gate is closed. Like, why is she coming up to me? Like, the gate is closed. We're closed. And she was like, how's it going? And I was like, it's going good. How can I help you? And she was like, oh, I'm the new manager. I'm such and such. And I was like, hey, I'm Katelyn. And she was like, how's it going? And I was like, it's a shit show. I'm not going to filter myself. I have made this personality for myself that I am comfortable with, and I'm just not going to filter myself. We're all adults. Even the children. We're all adults. If they're on TikTok with me, they can be considered adult. Thank you. Next. Okay. Another thing that I don't like about children is that they have to come before everyone else. That shit pisses me the fuck off. And this is all that I'm speaking in regards to. Food and presents. If we are celebrating Christmas and I have to wait for the children to open up their gifts, I waited all day too. Hell, I bought the gifts. So why don't I get to open my gift at the same time? Why do I have to wait for the children? I don't like that. Also, if I'm waiting in line at the barbecue and I've been waiting there before everyone even got there, and then my grandma says, oh, let the kids get some first. Who gets some first? I've been standing here the whole time. I'm getting some first. If they wanted to be first, they should have hopped off the iPad and ran up over here and gotten their food first. Guess what? Now you get leftovers because I stood in line first because I want the first scoop of mac and cheese. God damn it. I hate that. That shit drives me nuts. So my cousins that are watching, no children. And if there are children, I come first. I should pretend to serve them and then just serve myself a plate. I should do that. I should do that. But I could sell it to everyone else. But my mom would be like, what are you doing? Because my mom knows I passionately hate kids. The next one is that kids have no humility. A child will do the most gut-wrenching, disgusting thing that would send me into molecules just witnessing. And they'll just be like, What do you mean? You just shit yourself and walked all over Walmart and dragged it everywhere. What do you mean? Yeah. I don't like that kids don't have humility because that makes them act the way that they do. And I know that they're young and they don't have their brain developed. I know that has to deal with it, but at the same time, it's like, why are you acting that way? And those were just a few of the things that I listed. Aside from all of that, kids are smelly and sticky. Why are they always sticky? Why are they always sticky? Thank you to all the mothers and the fathers who have wet wipes everywhere. Your child needs them. Make sure that they have a wet wipe. We need to train all the children that they need to be having a wet wipe at all times for their face body, hands, feet, everything. Everything. I hate children so much. One comes up to me and I'm like, hey, hey. I don't like children. But also, like, if I know you and your child comes up to me and they're like, I want you to pick me up, I'll pick them up. But just know internally, I'm crying in the corner. I don't want to pick them up. And I hate children. So if you could please keep them away from me. That will do. Okay. Back to the parents. I couldn't fathom having a child because I don't want to go through pregnancy. No one could pay me enough money. I don't even think $1 trillion is enough money for me to have a child. If the option is to get $1 trillion and have a child or be homeless, I would be homeless. I would be homeless. That's not to say if I accidentally get pregnant, do I keep the child or do I abort it? That's not what I'm saying. If I have the option, $1 trillion or be homeless, I'll be homeless. If I accidentally get pregnant, I don't know which option I would choose. I would like to sit here and say that I do not want a child, but my rights have been taken away. So we shall see. But I would not want to go through pregnancy. Periods are bad enough. Your whole body hurts. And then, like, some people get nauseous on their period, but then when you're pregnant, you're always nauseous. I already crave things all the time because I'm addicted to sugar. And I'm like, what is it? What do they call it? A C eater, where if you see something, you have to eat it. I'm already one of those. So I can only imagine that when I'm pregnant, it will be like 1,000 times worse. Like, so I can't do that. Also, like in the hospital, some people don't get an epidural. What? Some people tear. Some people get a husband stitch. Hell no. There's too many things wrong. And also, I saw the question of like, if you were dying and the husband had to pick you or the baby, you better pick me. You don't even know this little turd that's coming out of me. I have already developed this relationship with you. You better pick me. You better pick them. You better pick whoever's delivering. You can always try again for another baby. There cannot be another you. You don't even know the baby yet. I'm sure that this whole topic has infuriated some of you guys. Yeah, some. Because most of the people that I know don't want children. But for those that it does infuriate, I'm not going to apologize because that's how I feel about it. But I do respect however you think about these things. Just know that I don't want a child and I don't want to be near your child. So I hope that we can all stay friends because this is not a threat. Not a threat. This is just how I feel. All right. Maybe I should have started with this. This next topic and not about something that I hate so much. Okay. So I'm the type of person who checks my emails every single day. Every single day. I have to check my emails for school and for like the business side of podcasting. Like I'm an email checker. I don't like the little red dot on the app. So I check all my notifications. Even if it says I didn't read it, I checked it. What I am trying to get to is that I got a little email from TikTok and it was like, hey, check out so-and-so's video, right? And I was like, why the fuck is it sending me a link to someone's video that's not my own? So I'm assuming that this person boosted their video. And I'm going to describe what I saw. Just know that I repressed the thought of it because I really didn't enjoy watching it and I did not watch the whole thing. So it was a video of someone who I used to go to school with, and they were like preaching some sort of like mental wellness mindset kind of thing. Let me describe it. So they're like sitting in their car and they're like talking to you, but like really aggressively like this about how to get your life better and how to be in a better mindset, with the text popping up whenever you hit the word that it says, and it's just like really out there. Okay. I couldn't watch it all because it was so cringy. And look at me. Look at me when I say this to you. If I ever come off as that cringy, you need to tell me. You need to tell me that, okay? Thank you. Okay. I'm fucking scared. So when I was looking at that, I told you I didn't watch the full thing. I maybe watched like 10 seconds of it. I already knew the vibes that it was giving, and it was like Andrew Tate. Okay. I don't gravitate towards the self-help videos very often. I'm more of like a haul, this is what I ate today and this is what I bought today, kind of like TikTok gal, or like the funny ones that resemble Vine kind of thing. I'm not going to TikTok to be woke. I'm sorry. That's just not, TikTok for me is for entertainment, not for learning. I'm probably gonna regret saying that. But gosh, I was just like, I understand that I'm not the target audience, or maybe I was. But that's not what I want to see. I don't think any women would like to see that. I think it's modeled for men to like that. And you know what? I'm not a guy. I don't really talk to that many people. I should have asked some guys before I started talking about this to see if they liked it, but then that would require me sharing it. And if I share it, then it's going to keep popping up. And I didn't want that to happen, so maybe it's a good thing that I didn't. Maybe guys like to watch that kind of stuff. Maybe some women do. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have categorized them like that. Maybe some people like to watch that kind of stuff, but I just don't think that. I know for a fact that I didn't like it, and I thought it was really cringy. In my last reels, I believe, I didn't put any captions on the videos because of that video. I am scared that I will come off like that. And I really don't mean to. And I know that captions, not everyone likes captions. It's just always pushed in the classes that I was in to have captions, just in case someone's listening without headphones on, they can read it. But I honestly think captions are kind of tacky unless they're for accessibility reasons. So I should probably put them back on. I'll probably put on the auto-generated ones, but I don't think I'll be putting them on there myself just because I don't like the way that they look, in fear of looking like that. This is by no means me de-influencing you to create, but just don't be a cringy creator. Don't fall into that category. Don't be like, hey guys, I'm trying these Pringles today, but I'm not sponsored. Like, girl, you have 150 followers. We know you're not sponsored. Don't be cringy in that sense. I think everyone here is pretty chill and are really cool. 'Cause you're here, you know. But if you're gonna do it, I feel like there's a right way to do it, and that's just the wrong way. First of all, I wouldn't say hi to that person in public just because I'm like, it gives like God vibes, you know, kind of like you're better than everyone. I forget what it's called. By giving everyone advice, like pushy advice. I don't know, maybe that's what I do. But I hope if I do it, it's, you guys like it. I'm not going to say I don't know anymore because I do know. But what I'm getting at is, if I ever get to that point to where I'm cringing you out, please tell me. And, you know, yes, I probably will be offended by it, but in the long run, I'll be thankful for you. So if I ever come off as cringe, just holler at me. Because if not, I'll be upset. And if I look down at this like 7 years later and I think it's cringy, I will sabotage you in some way. Maybe not with death, but I'll, like, I don't know, take a bite out of all your mini donuts that you have in your pantry and then put them back. Or I'll switch your oat milk with whole milk. I don't know. I'll do something to you, but don't let me come off like that, okay? I'm glad we're agreeing. Next topic. I'm sorry I'm touching my hair. It's just so new. I'm like... Anyways, this is me kind of being nervous and... petting the microphone. I asked everybody who follows my fucking Instagram to put their input in on a topic of young people problems you face. Honestly, most of the answers was that you don't get taken seriously because of your age. I couldn't agree more with you. At my place of work, I know that I'm one of the better people who work there. Not the best. I know I'm not the best. I wouldn't put that kind of badge on me. I just keep hitting the microphone. I'm not going to apologize because I don't mean to do it on purpose, but I need to stop doing that. I'm just not the apologetic type. I have found it that if I tell someone something, they don't believe me, but if I have someone who looks older than me or like more in charge than me go up there, I'll feed them what to say word for word because they know I do my job well. And they'll go up there and the person will be like, oh, okay, I understand. Why couldn't you understand with me? Like, what? And honestly, it boils down to respect. I don't think that people who are older than you really respect you because you're young. People are ageist. Like racist? Ageist. Old people don't like young people. Young people don't like old people. If you're in the middle, you're safe. But you will be old at some point and you were young before. So it's just... older people want to be respected, but they don't want to respect the younger people. So it's like... I don't see this being a problem that's going to be resolved anytime soon. Because just think about it. Whenever you're getting work done on your house and two guys walk up, one of them's 20 years old, the other one's 50 years old. You're going to assume that the guy who's 50 years old is the person who is here to do your yard, spray your yard for bugs, and the younger one is the apprentice. Well, if the employer gives the person a chance, maybe the younger one is the boss who's been working there for 7 years, and the 50-year-old guy is someone who got laid off of his office job, and he is the apprentice. But based off of looks, you're going to pick the older guy because you think that he has the job experience. So it's like, I want people to take me seriously because of my age, and a lot of us are very ambitious. Like, they already put that speed bump in front of us to where like, oh, you have to go to school. But then when you go to school, they're like, well, school isn't enough. You have to get experience too. But it's like, how do you want me to go to school and get experience? And I still haven't started my real job yet. So I get it. It's infuriating. But also at the same time, like, I think that me as a young person also would fall into that category of like not taking a younger person seriously. So that's just me. I know other people probably think differently, and honestly, you're probably saying that because you're on the receiving end, but if you were on the giving end, you'd probably fall into the same category as me. So yeah, I get it. It is infuriating. I really don't like not being taken seriously, but people judge based off of looks, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Another one that I got that really resonated with me was, no matter how much money I make, it's not enough to be financially stable. Of course, like, I'm not reading these verbatim. This is just me shorthanding this. I couldn't agree more. It doesn't matter how many hours I work. I don't think I'll ever reach the financial stability that I want. I think that I work a really well-paying job, but I don't see it. Let's see, how do I word this? I don't see myself reaching the financial stability that I have defined in my head. And in my head, the level of financial stability that will tell me that I'm stable is if I am paying all my bills and I can also buy high-end makeup without sweating it. I don't think I'll I don't think I'll ever reach that. Like, all jokes aside, I get really worried about what I'm going to do when my body can no longer work. Because if you notice, there's a lot of older people working. Like, I'm talking about like your grandma's age working, and they were supposed to have Social Security. So what's going wrong that they have to work still? Because it is terrible to walk into Walmart or HEB. You're going in there to buy groceries, and the person checking you out is the same age as your grandma when your grandma's at home watching TV. Like, what happened in this person's life? And America is so rich that they have to work until they're going to die. Like, I am so scared of that. They always say, like, make sure that you're putting a percentage of your paycheck into your 401k. But it's like, if I add more than the percentage that I'm already adding, what the fuck am I going to live off of? I mean, that may just be me, but I have never had it laid out to me to where it's like, this is what the numbers are. This is what you need to invest. And yeah, like, if I go looking for it, I can find it. But I don't think that it's widely spread knowledge. And I think that the system is set up for us to fail. Since I am in the middle of like an episode, I'm going to sit here and tell you that money's not real, and you should just spend what you want to spend, because the person who's spending money willy-nilly next to you is having a really good life, and you're worried about money that you have in the bank that you won't have later. You're both going to die at some point. You might as well just live the good life. Yes, I'm telling you this now because I'm like in a manic episode. But if I wasn't, I would tell you this person's really irresponsible, and you and you need to focus on saving your money. But it's like, still, like, live a good life. Honestly, you die with your debt, so I don't know. But I get it. I really struggle with money in general. I feel like whenever I ask someone for advice about money, they do one of two things. The first thing is that they won't tell me. Like, they'll just be weirded out and they don't tell me. And the second one is that they will tell me, but they're going to be really condescending about it. And it takes like everything inside of me to be like, if you're just going to answer my question like that, don't answer it at all, because I did not pop out the coochie knowing about finances. Just saying. Okay, next one. I had a couple for this one too. Finding the right circle / finding genuine people. Almost everyone is a piece of shit, so you have to just find whoever you're willing to put up with. I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. I barely have friends who exist in my life right now, and I talk to a camera in a room by myself for fun. So, like, I am not the person to sit here and tell you about finding the right circle or finding genuine people, but all I can advise you is that everyone's shit. You just have to decide whose shit you want to put up with. But I feel like even if I had like a good circle, it's still kind of like that. Like, you'll have friends that you're going to be really deep with, and you'll have like for your whole life, or you'll have friends who you're surface level with, and you should stay surface level with them, because if you get anywhere deeper, they're going to be shit people. So I would say just go with the flow. Try not to think about friendships like too hard. As long as they don't fuck you over, you're fine. Like, majorly fuck you over. Everyone's gonna fuck you over at one point. But, like, I'm talking about, like, majorly. You'll be okay. Just remember to give people a chance. How about that? Okay. I don't know why the air conditioner is on in here, but I'm about to start shaking like a fucking chihuahua. The next one. People think I'll change my mind about having kids because I'm young. We already went over this with me. I'm not having no fucking kids. I personally do not want to bring anything into this world. And while I do understand that life is a gift and I do enjoy mine, there's a lot of setbacks. Women are slowly getting their rights taken away. The planet is failing very quickly. We're probably gonna burn, or we're gonna run out of oxygen. Did y'all see that the water cycle is being set back all different ways, like condensation, precipitation, and evaporation being all sorts of fucked up? Oh, I spit everywhere. It's just all sorts of fucked up because of climate change. We're either gonna live in astronaut suits or not be able to leave our house. You know, when I was younger, I was like, oh, the earth is gonna like live for too long and we're gonna burn because we've done too many cycles around the sun and it's gonna envelop the planet. We're not gonna last that long. We are not gonna last that long, okay? Another thing is that the government is corrupt. We're in an age of knowledge and technology, and barbaric things like genocide are still happening today. I don't want to bring anyone this suffering. I just, and I'm thinking about this like very deeply. Like, of course you can live your life and be like, la la la, clock in, clock out, go to the beach, go on vacation, have your kids, be focused on your family, live your life and die. You can live like that. But just know, like, in the later parts of the night, like, everyone's mind wanders and you'll end up thinking about that. Another thing is that you're stuck with the child for the rest of your life. First, you have to go through 9 months of this terrible thing, this terrible alien in your stomach, right? Then you have to have it. Lord knows if you're going to get any sort of right treatment, if you'll get like a C-section or it's going to pop out your coochie. What's going to happen if that happens to you? It's just not good. The numbers ain't numbering. So, that sucks. And then people are like, oh, you only have to deal with the child until they're 18. No, you don't. I still bother my parents. In fact, I still live with them. They're stuck with me for life. But that's a choice that they made. And the choice that I'm making is to not have children. Like this person is saying, like, a lot of people tell me, like, oh, you're just going to change your mind because you're just young right now and you don't want kids. I'm very selfish. I have never wanted kids. I see nothing good in children. And I know that sounds really bad to say, but I don't want nothing to deal with children. I really don't. So I don't think I'm going to change my mind. This person doesn't think they're going to change their mind. So why do people always say, oh, you're going to change your mind. You're going to change your mind. I'm going to start telling people, oh, I bet you regret having children. That's rude, right? So then why are people telling me that I'm going to change my mind about having children? That gives the same effect. So, just saying. There were a lot more things submitted, but I don't feel like I'm qualified to comment on those things. I do see you. While I wish I understood your struggle, and I'm sure there's many people who do struggle the same way, I'm not certified to comment on that topic right now. But if I ever do, I will get back to it. I hope that everyone's young people struggles get better as we get older. And it does kind of suck because we're going to get older and they're going to go away and they're not going to be young people struggles. So I guess like just kind of sit back and at least you're struggling it because you're young and you're not struggling a different way because you're old. That was still kind of dark. But I'm in a slump. Don't judge me too hard. So that's going to be it for today. We made it through. I made it through. You made it through. We made it through. Might as well just sit there, like and subscribe, rate the show, whatever you're on. You know how to interact. What was I going to say? Yes, do not forget to vote. If you are registered to vote, do not forget to vote. And if you're not registered to vote, I better not see you hopping up on Instagram complaining about anything about politics. You didn't go out there and you didn't register, well, you have no say-so. Okay? Okay. Because you have to earn your right for me to sit there and flip through Instagram about you being upset about all these different things that are happening because of the way people voted. You could have made a difference, okay? That was my 2 seconds about that. I'm not going to tell you how to vote or who to vote for. Make sure that you vote for someone who represents you, who represents you, okay? That's how you're supposed to vote. Someone who represents you. At this point, you know where to find me. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. It's kickinitw.Katelyn. And then on YouTube, Kicking It with Katelyn. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. I always talk your ear off for like an hour or so, and then I call it quits. And this is me calling it quits. So I'll see you next time. Bye.